No matter what sort of life you're living, you run into people who just won't listen to what you have to say. When words don't get through, the easiest alternative is beating them into submission, certainly with a bit of rough solution. But when you're dealing with another man, it's at least an option. But when you're dealing with a woman, let alone a shrimp of a girl who doesn't come up to your shoulders, it's a different story. If you start swinging your fists around out of irritation under those circumstances, anyone would call it bullying the weak. It's a bad style and would leave an unpleasant aftertaste. What's called for in such situation is perseverance and patience. In this age of rapid scientific progress, I'd like to throw some machine you could I'd like some machine you could stick on your back, throw the switch to Zen-like, and instantly gain infinite self-control. But sadly, despite the market potential for such a device, the world isn't yet such a convenient place. Well, no big deal. Fortunately enough, I am pretty used to endurance tests. He's so cute. It's been 5 minutes since I spotted Ishiru Makina wandering aimlessly around the campus, so I called out, "What are you up to?" Casual tone. On the bright side, she reacted to my voice and stopped dead in her tracks instead of fleeing, but beyond that, things haven't gone well. Staring fixated up at my face, Makina doesn't speak a word. Can you not speak Japanese? Silent as always, Makina shakes her head back and forth in denial, apparently having understood my question. Are you afraid of me, maybe? Her silence continues, and this time there is neither confirmation nor denial. It doesn't seem likely that she didn't understand the question, which would mean this one is in uncertain territory, somewhere between yes and no, as far as I can guess. I'm repeating myself, but this sort of communication takes a lot of patience and persistence. I tried to consciously consider things from Makina's point of view. Transfer student with an unclear background, what's more, a man 178 centimeters high. From the perspective of Makina, who I'd guess to be around 140 centimeters, it might well be a little intimidating to have me towering above her. For the moment, I crouched down so that my eyes are level with hers. It seems like you were wandering around the grounds. Are you looking for something? Makina speaks a single word in a quiet voice and once again shakes her head in denial. Then what were you doing? That's the point of some interest to me. But well, if you get down to it, wherever she is, and whatever she's doing is her own business, I suppose. I'm not a policeman. I don't have any reason to drag it out of her. In this case, it might be best to find some words to wrap this up cleanly, giving her a friendly goodbye and let this timid creature be on her way. But as I reach for the conclusion, Makina slowly moves her hand to the rear of her skirt, grabs something with her stubby fingers, and pushes it in front of my eyes. What's this thing? I glance at the small hand as a toy-like object roughly the size of an egg, with an LCD screen buried into the center. And what's that? There's some unknown life form of a monster, most closely resembling a chick, displayed in blocky pixels in the central LCD. It seems to be programmed with some cheap animations and about 3 patterns or so. Come to think of it, I remember reading a news article of this a few years ago. After developing the smallest 3-axis geomagnetism sensor in the world at the time, a certain company fed that technology into a children's electronic toy, which then became an explosive hit among grade schoolers. It's a pedometer, right? One of those things where the pet grows up faster the more you walk? Nodding her head, Makina returns the pedometer in her hand to her waist. In other words, she wasn't looking for anything in particular. Her wandering itself was the objective. Walking is a good thing since it's aerobatic exercise without too much strain on the joints, and if you're going to walk away, having some sort of visible result from the effort might make it feel more worthwhile. God, that was a sentence. Makina points at the school gate as she speaks. I see it makes sense that she'd want to avoid crowded places, giving her extreme shyness. That would restrict her strolls to pacing around the school grounds, which would quickly get repetitive. So the digital pet serves as a distraction from the boredom, most likely. You like taking walks? You like taking walks? Sorta, is it? But walking for fun at this age might be a little odd. It seems more like a hobby of an old man. Ugh. Excuse me. You have any other interests? Like reading? For example, read any books lately? Manga's fine too, whatever. Tell the truth, I already heard from Mane that Makina often reads books, and reading is a hobby of mine. As well, I think it's a decent common topic for starters. In response to my question, Makina holds her right index finger to her chin and mumbles, while gazing up at the sky. Quiz, huh? Well, was it interesting? That's actually an interesting question. Life-threatening to observe the naked eye. What kind of deathly ray weapon is that? And a sweet, of all things? Some new tech from the West? Just looking at it is dangerous, but I mean it's probably some variety of optical weapon? Something like an X-ray possessing mass, or some sort of beam saber style light-based killing tool? No, but it's just... If just seeing it is dangerous, some sort of super weapon that radiates a pulse to the receptors of the eyeball, using a flickering pattern to stimulate the brain cells and trigger accelerated apoptosis. Hold it. This thing is sweet, right? A sweet. What the heck? Where do you go from there? All I'm getting is some sort of chocolate pastry shooting out a mysterious beam of light. Pew, 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 pew. Don't know. I give up. What's the answer? What? What? See and die. I love her. See and die. I get it. I missed that angle. Candy. Yeah, sorry to hold you up. Without even a bye or a later, Makina leaves the area at a trot, as if fleeing from me. Doesn't seem like she's outright hates me though. How long have you been there? What do you mean by the opposite? Trying not to be disliked? True enough, I remember seeing her rushing around brandishing cicada crackling at the first time. If that's her normal state, then why she behaves in front of me would certainly be a product of deliberate self-restraint, but... I think it could be interpreted as simple as fear as well. What makes you say that? Yeah. When I was a kid, there was a time I'd been surrounded by unfamiliar adults. I found myself at the brink of tears. When one of the adults stooped down to talk to me face to face, I immediately got emotionally attached. Looking back, I feel like shouting, "You sure got attached to an outrageous person," or complaining about what an idiot I was, but... And now she's glued to you, or something like that. Maybe she's playing by herself because she understands that.
猫みたいなものよ。構ってほしい時だけニャンニャン言ってすり寄ってきて、飽きたらスッといなくなっちゃう感じ。癖っ気でふわふわしてるし、体もぐにゃぐにゃで柔らかいし、体温が高いから抱くと暖かいし、なんか甘ったるい匂いするし、猫っぽいよね。
猫 cat. I see.
まあ慣れないうちはそっけないかもしれないけど、絶対に悪い子じゃないから仲良くしてあげてよ。
I don't plan to force her to be friends if she doesn't want to be, but yeah, I'll try to avoid being hated. If I avoid unnecessary contact, I shouldn't inspire any hatred or come to hate anyone myself. In exchange, won't be like to come to like anyone either. Maintaining emotional distance along appropriate lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient interpersonal relationships. Of course, there are always these careless puppy dog types who leap into your arms wagging their tails right from the start. I can just see his face, his eyes just narrow, staring at her. At that. Oh, there are these puppy dog types that just leap into your arm. Oh, it's just thinking about how beautiful you are. Alright, Amane, close your eyes. Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectations, Amane closes her eyes, thrusts out her lips as instructed. Moving quickly and silently and making good if I could again leave the girl to her foolishness. I see Makina may have the right idea. Leaving out later or goodbye entirely and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amane. It's not that I hate you. I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. Minihama Academy schoolyard again. I think it's the next day. Reading books is in a reading. Okay, he's reading books in a well area. That was the teaching of my master. Oh, okay. At the time, I was accustomed to reading while shut in a closet or a dark room, so those words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead, and I'm still not good with direct sunlight. But here, I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand anyway. Aren't I adorable? God, I love the words sometimes. The chat, the dialogue sometimes is just so funny. But here I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand anyways. Aren't I adorable? I love it. No reason to wander around looking for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the school's admission guide pamphlet. On the coded threefold brochure, there is a bird's-eye view illustrated of the campus, with a mark to the south of the schoolhouse and a planned site of library construction. Planned site, meaning there isn't a library yet, I guess? Although there is something library-esque on the second floor of the school building, the collection only holds around 200 books. You can apply to have a book stocked if you're after one in particular, and apparently a bookmobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while, but it doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way and borrow the key to use it. I brought my own books, and there are plenty of well-lit areas besides the library. While casually looking over the pamphlet, I find the words Rose Garden. This is definitely our principal's doing. Yep. Or so I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age deluding herself. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you got room to grow them, it would be better used for an edible plant. By telling her that, probably just make things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tangibana with a good day, Onisama, next time I see her. A rose garden, eh? I don't have any interest in edible flowers, but I guess there would be a shade tree or two as well. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brings a smirk to my face. Guided by these silly thoughts, I decided to head towards the rose garden for the first and only time. They call it a rose garden, but not a single one's in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the right spot, and there's even a white arch that seems appropriate, but from what I can see, there aren't any rose flowers. Maybe the garden's still in work in progress, or perhaps they're cutting the buds during the summer. Well, not like I came to see the rose in the first place, so whatever. Oh, she's so cute. Ah, she's so cute. I love it. That was a surprise. Wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No more importantly, what the heck is she doing? I approached silently and touched Makina's neck in the area of her corroded artery. She's got a pulse. On close inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amane, in this case, didn't feed her a poisoned apple. She's sleeping. Wait, this thing. A cat, I think? A large cat is serving as the soundly sleeping Makina's pillow and taken for a stuffed animal. Oh my god, that is actually a cat. Holy shit. Ugh. Sure looks like a fluffy toy, but when I draw close, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitch like a miniature radar antennas. My next question is, why sleep out here? Soon resolves itself. I see. It's definitely nice and cool here. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, or so they used to say. As for Makina, I expect she was wandering around herself as per usual, then grew exhausted and collapsed into a sudden sleep on the spot. I watched the particularly gnawed apple in Makina's chest and raise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of eating, just like a baby. Notice that Makina's mouth is half open, dripping a transparent drool. Not to mention her hair's a scruffy mess. The ribbon on her uniform is crooked, and she's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. What's with this girl? Yep, you can see him down there. As I look up and down, suddenly snuffles noisily. What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even as I'm filled with desire to keep watching discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere at this place also wells up within me. At that moment, ooh, I sense someone watching me. Hi, cat. As I look over and find Makina's pillow cat has woken and is staring up at me in surprise. Sorry to bother you. Go back to sleep. I leave them, taking care to avoid making noises as I sit down in her tree a little ways away. Whew. Going around as she pleases, then falling asleep to the nearest cool place. When she gets tired, I see she certainly does remind you of a cat. I'm envious. It's not sarcasm or anything. I'm genuinely envious of Makina. I'm sure that she brings that little pocket of naturally peaceful space with her wherever she goes. I think that's something worth envying. It's probably very precious to her as well, which might be why she doesn't want to step outside the sanctuary of a school when she can avoid it. Inside the sanctuary, that would crumble in a moment without the protection of others. I wonder if the day will come when I too can sleep in that utterly defenseless way. Turning towards the sound, I noticed a fat white cat from before appearing from the direction of the thicket I just left. Rustling its way through the foliage on stubby legs, it stops suddenly when it spots me sitting under the shade of my tree, glaring at me with sleepy-looking eyes. It lets out a single disgruntled meow. My bad. After getting suddenly awoken in the middle of a pleasant nap, it's only natural if I were pulled out of bed on a Sunday morning with some pushy religious solicitors, I'm sure I'd make the similar face. Although the fat cat does seem to have accepted my apology, he snuffles roughly and lumbers away from this place. As I'm watching the cat's dignified exit, the bushes start to rustle again. I hear the sound of a dim-witted creature awakening from a lazily stretching out its body. When I take a look, Makina is crouched on the ground on all fours, bending her back. She really is a cat in human form. Makina opens her mouth and holds down a yawn and rubs roughly at the tears spilling out of the corner of her eyes. After a restless look on her face, she draws herself off the ground. It's not like I'm doing anything to be ashamed of, but before I realize it, I have hidden myself from her. After standing stock still for a moment, Makina takes a bite from the apple in her hand and wanders off briskly. And where she's off to now? Doesn't look like she's got any particular destination in mind. Driven by an interest I find difficult to pin down, I decide to quietly follow. Oh, there's no regularity to Makina's actions. Just when I think she's walking straight towards something, she'll come to a sudden stop, look around restlessly, and head off in a different direction. Doesn't seem like she's lost or anything, so I suppose she's just moving wherever whim takes her. It makes it incredibly troublesome for me to tail her. Not that it'd be a serious problem if she noticed me, but I awkwardly call out to her now. I have the feeling she'll just run off again. I skillfully have my presence and continue shadowing her movements. Telling a girl without her knowledge, objectively speaking, I guess this would be stalking. Just as I finally start to get fed up with following Makina's direction, rambling and resembling random staggering of a sleepwalker more than anything else, the rare wandering monster in question comes to a halt. Her resting place is an area on the outskirts of the school courtyard in front of an artificial cement pond of certain purpose. Makina totters her way to the pond, thrusts her hand in her pocket of her skirt to retrieve some half-eaten white bread, and starts tearing off chunks, throwing it into the water. Every time Makina's small hand hurls a bit of bread into the pond, loud splashing resonates from the surface of apparently the very fish being kept in the pond. She's feeding them. You can't tell me she's not cute. Come on! She's fattening them up to eat? Oh yeah, clawfish. Clawfish? Makina looks around the area, rapidly grabs a short tree branch lying nearby and leans over the depths of the pond and begins poking it into the water. Although I was puzzled there for a moment, it seems like she is trying to capture the crawfish she spotted in the pond. This looks risky. Giving her character, it's obvious she'll be taking a face-first dive into the pond very soon if I just sit here from behind and call out to her. Hey, watch yourself or you'll fall in that pond. I guess I shouldn't have called out of nowhere. Makina's hand slips off the ground and stereotypically slapstick fall. No! No! Oh no. Whoops. Swiftly reaching out to the floundering Makina, I firmly seize the collar of her school uniform, pull her back to safety. She is a cat. Dangled by the nape of her neck like a kitten, Makina lets out a feline cry. You're light. Are you even 40 kilos? There isn't any difference in weight from the backpack I was always carrying. Given this weight and size, I could lug her and a good 25 kilos in a single day. Oh, sorry. Shocking. I wasn't planning to call out to you, but it's better than letting you fall into the pond, isn't it? No need to thank me. I did the natural thing given the circumstance. Looking at me shamelessly doing the lifeless saving hero number despite being a large part of responsibility for the problem in the first place, I might have the makings of an American politician. Makina gives a quick bow and thanks him without another word, starts running away from me again. Hey, hold up. Where do you think you're going? Don't give me why are you running away from me? She asked me point blank. It's not like I have anything particular justification for staying her here. That said, it's kind of unpleasant to avoid this blatantly, but at very least there's a reason she's doing this, and I want to know about it. I think I asked this before, but are you scared of me? If there's some reason why you're avoiding me, how about telling me? If possible, I'll try to address it. Again with the silent treatment. Deciding to pursue the conversation more patiently. I squat down to match my line of sight with Makina's. You remember my name?
風見ユージ。
That's right. Yuji's fine.
名前で呼ぶの恥ずかしいよ。
Okay then, call me what you want.
じゃあお兄ちゃん。
Oni. I would say being called her big brother is a bit embarrassing on my end, but, well, alright. I turn around in response to the splashing sound coming from the pond behind me. More fish gather at the surface of the water, flapping their mouths in demand for more food. Seems they've come to expect a handout when people stand near the pond. Makina, do you still have breadcrumbs left?
うん。
Makina thrusts her hand into her skirt pocket and rummages through its contents.
これは
As she talks, she pulls out things out of her pockets one after the other. Items that emerge are mostly sweets like candy, chocolate, chewing gum, and along with the erratic selection of tools like nail clippers, rubber bands, and glue. Whoa, what the fuck? Well, I've heard that women's purses are connected to the fourth dimension. This girl's pockets seem to be connected to a garbage dump. Makina carelessly rains down the rubbish that emerges from the ground around her, one after the other. What is this? Pick up the plastic container shaped like a large film canister. There's a label pasted on it, filled with numbers and symbols of uncertain things.
それはダメ。それはチルチルにあげるラムネなの。
I'm not going to steal it or anything. Here, take it. When I hold the case to her, Makina snatches it back instantly.
これは絶対に食べたらダメなのよ。
I'm not going to sneak bites of other people's food at my age.
そんなこと言って信用できないのよさ。世の中にはそう言っておいてこっそり隠れて食べちゃってすっかりいい気持ちになっちゃった大きいお姉さんもいるのよさ。
Amane, huh?
なんでアマネーだってわかったの？
I didn't. Just saying the first name that popped into my head. It really was her. Guess she's got a surprisingly gluttonous side.
私から聞いたって言ったら嫌なのよ。ほら、パンをあげるからこれで我慢するのよさ。
Good as a word, Makina shoves the half-eaten bread under my face.
はい、全部食べていいのよさ。いっぱい食べてまるまる太るのよ。
No, I wasn't planning to eat it. Take the bread scraps from Makina, tear some off, and throw them into the pond. Fish at the surface struggle like a pack of piranhas for the food, messily gulping it all down. Nice appetite, huh? I thought these little things were carp, but now that I get a closer look, they're actually goldfish.
金魚なのよ。去年神社のお祭りで私が救ったのよさ。
From goldfish snatching game, huh? These were originally goldfish from a scooping game. They're almost certainly tiny kind that sold as live food for carnivorous fish at pet shops, but these things are huge.
毎日餌をあげてたらどんどん大きくなったのよ。
Fish generally keep growing as long as they're alive, so the more you feed them, the bigger they'll get. But just what have you been feeding them?
パンとか普通に金魚の餌とか暇な時とか休み時間のたびにあげてたのよ。
Ah, I get it. Fish don't really have a sense of being full. They don't feel nerve of pain either, so they'll eat as much as you give them, even if their stomachs are bulging out.
そうなの？
The number one cause of death among aquarium fish is indigestion from being overfed. Well, that's what it said in something I read when I was a kid.
なんて本？
I think it was a magazine called Monthly Junior Science. There was an article about raising fish in ozone-aided water where it was mentioned.
へえ、お魚の本なの？
Not just fish, it had features on things like animal or space as well. My older sister was seriously dedicated reader. I picked up magazines like that when she finished, although half of it went over my head. As I'm recalling the contents of science magazines I read back then, I suddenly remember something. Hey Makina, you had some pickled squid in that pocket, didn't you?
あるけど。
No, just take it out. I also have anything you can use a string.
お裁縫の木綿糸ならあるけど。何するの？
You'll see. Receiving the squid from Makina, I firmly tie one end thread one end of the thread around it, and then the knot from the other end to the tree branch I picked up at random.
釣り竿
Exactly. So now we toss the squid dangling and thread into the pond. Around the area where I threw the squid, I can see a shape of crawfish Makina had been poking at earlier. When I jiggle the squid in front of its face, within a matter of seconds, crawfish extends its pinchers and firmly seizes the bait. There. Hooked him. There. Hooked him. See that?
あーすげえザニガニ釣れた
It's a crawfish, not a clawfish. You got the word wrong. As I dangle the captured crustacean in front of Makina stares at it with an expression of immense curiosity.
ザニガニ真っ赤だね
There must be a lot of edible aquatic plants or something in there. Crawfish turn red when they have an abundant food.
餌が少ないとどうなるの
They turn blue.
青くなる
If you take a small newborn crawfish and continuously give it food like potatoes, radishes, and sardines, they don't contain carotene, and it'll turn blue in a month or so.
本当に
I read it in a book when I was a kid and ended up trying it out myself. There were some that ended up with a lot of violet spots or white flecks, but I remember getting a few that turned deep blue as well.
いいなあ私もやってみたい
Okay, then try to catch one yourself. I pull the captured crawfish off the squid and return it to the pond, and hand the fishing pole to Makina.
私に釣れるかなやったことないのよさ
Experiencing new things is always worthwhile, so you might as well start by trying to catch one yourself.
じゃあやってみる
Don't fall into the pond, alright? Also, try to get the smallest one you can.
頑張るのよさ
Taking the crude pole from me, Makina forcefully hurls the squid into the pond.
ザニガニ釣れるといいな
I already told you, it's a crawfish, not a
仕方
clawfish.
がないのよさ私はバカだ
She even admits it. Oh. Is that the issue here? I mean, I do remember pronouncing snail as smail back when I was in elementary school for a while, but after my sister pointed it out to me, I stopped making the mistake. Didn't you have someone to point out that sort of mistake for you? Your mom, for
うん
instance?
お母さんは私のこと嫌っているから
I see. There's no mother in the world who hates her child. Was my mother's line, but now I'm all too well aware that the world isn't that simple. I suppose there really are mothers who hate their children, and for those children, it can't be a topic they want to chat about with some stranger. An awkward attempt at consolation with
お
backfire
兄
here.
ちゃんは優しい人なのね
Me? Seems like I haven't quite gotten the hang of being called Oni-chan yet. Serious, how am I nice?
ね私の家族に無関心でいてくれるところ
Just wasn't injured enough
な
to
んで
risk
嫌
it.
われてるのか興味ない
Stared steadily at Makina's small back, slowed out against the pond. If you want to talk, I'll listen.
ね
Don't they say that kids are cuter when they're a little dumb?
私のバカを侮っちゃいけないのよこう見えても私札付きで筋金入りのバカなのよさ
Can't say I ever heard anyone with that fierce of a reputation for being stupid before. Well, don't worry about it. There's nothing but idiots in my vicinity, including
あ
me.
のね私ね別にお兄ちゃんのことが嫌いで避けてたわけじゃないのよ逆に嫌われたくなくてバカな子だなってそう思われないようになるべく近寄らないようにしてたのよさ
It's like I said, I'm surrounded by idiots. If I went around hating people for something like that, I'd run out of my supply of hate real fast. There certainly are people who can't hold together their own fragile sense of self-worth, except looking down on others. Even a few idiots who take those emotions to the extreme and become dictators or cult leaders and launch hunts against their inferiors. But why assume you'll be hated over something like that? Anyways, that's the way of thinking. That way of thinking seems counterproductive. yourself by saying, I'm just an idiot, and you'll puff up the many self-styled geniuses
で
of the
も
world.
ね、私あまねみたいに綺麗じゃないし。
There's no point in standing around with your mouth open waiting for talent to fall from the sky. You
どう
make
や
your own.
って？
No matter what you're doing, the most essential thing is to not give up. Fail as many times as it takes. Keep trying persistently until you call yourself average. That's actually not a bad thing to live by.
それでも人並みだよ。
Average is just fine. If you can collect a nice group of average level skills, that's already above average. You've created your own sort of talent. Being a hard worker is the talent in its own right, were my sister words. And from the group of average skills, you can work to improve further on the things that you think you're suited for. A person blessed with talent, in a manner of speaking, is just someone who found the path well suited for them early on. When you get down to it, people can accomplish nearly anything as long as they don't give up. Obvious, but it's true. On the other hand, guys who give up at the first setback will never get anything done. There's no need to rush. You're still a kid. You've got time. Try out anything and everything. Struggle around as much as you want. I rest my hand on Makina's head. The gentle thump. It's at just the right height for this sort of thing. That's what school is for, right?
そうなのかな。
At the very least, I think the principal wants the school to be that sort of place, so you might as well throw out your chest and do as many stupid things as you want with pride. Of course, if this girl ends up doing something truly dramatically stupid, the prince will be one facing the music, so I'm probably overstepping my bounds
じ
just
ゃ
right here.
あ私バカでもいいの？
Why not? Being dumb is fine. In the first place, guys who go around calling themselves geniuses are either weaklings with fragile egos or jokers who can use the line to get a laugh. And even if you were some genius, that makes it easy to mistake yourself for a perfect human and start slacking off. Hairs like that get passed by the tortoises of the world eventually.
そっか。やっぱいい人ね、お兄ちゃん。
Don't get me wrong, I just wanted to try playing the nice guy for a bit. You shouldn't trust me that easily, got
あ、
it?
知ってるそれ。ツンデレってやつなのよさ。チルチルがいつも練習してるのよ。勘違いしないでよねって。
How to put this? I'm not sure how I feel about being put in the same boat as that girl. Makina, I think you got a bite.
おお、なんとしたことか。
No need to rush. Slowly pull it out of the water.
ザリガニ、あ、違う。ザリガニ釣れてる。釣れたのよさ。
See, people can do anything if they try. So don't give up before you start, okay?
なんか自信ついた感じ。このザリガニを部屋に持って帰って青くなるか実験してみた。
Okay then, you should go to Amane or Sachi to see if you can find an aquarium to raise it in. Make sure you only feed it the stuff without carotene.
アジとかイワシ、大根やじゃがいも。
Oh, you remembered. Put my hand on Makini's head and ruffle her hair around roughly.
こう見えても記憶力は結構いいのよ。
Alright, better to get that crawfish in the water while it's still in good shape. Don't overfeed it, okay?
わかった。ありがとうお兄ちゃん。また遊んでくれる？
Yeah, see you later.
ありがとう。
Makina, still clutching the crawfish, waves her hand cheerfully and takes off at full speed towards the dorm. Thanks, huh? I don't recall doing anything worthy of gratitude, but regardless, hearing such a happy thanks feels kind of pleasant. Maybe it's because I was raised in an environment where such words were very rare, but I think being able to thank others so freely is also a sort of talent. It probably seems perfectly commonplace to her, but I'm sure she's not even conscious of that skill. I sort of get the feeling she may just be overlooking the talent she does have. Huh, I get it. That's what makes her an idiot. Say the idiots don't catch colds, but it's probably more accurate to say idiots don't realize when they've caught a cold. In the same way, because Makina's an idiot, she's probably oblivious to her own abilities. Honestly, what a weird girl. But then again, weird people are rarely boring. That is so true. Hey, that's me. Excuse me? I don't know if this is a new person. Red cars are called pony cars because of reputation. Certainly German women, apparently blah blah blah, in other words.
ねえ、ユージ君。なんかあそこにいる怪人の女の人、こっち見て手を振ってるんだけど、知り合い？ なんかあそこにいる怪人の女の人、こっち見て手を振ってるんだけど、知り合い？
ああ。
セーブするわ。
I didn't do that last time. Alright, I'm gonna save it right here.